All right, here is the speedrun for the camping case. We'll start by finding the biggest of XLOOKUP Alfred on all the campers' preferences, returning their numbers, and then we find the biggest one of these. Biggest is a lambda. If you want to learn about lambdas, see the link in the description. Here it is a sum product of two XLOOKUPs, right? So XLOOKUP the park on the camp choices, returning on these numbers, right? And then that is what with the camper name on the names returning these numbers. Then for level 3, we need to know which of these is the most valuable. So here on these items, we got to fix this, right? So wrap rows, this by 5. Now I need the name, the value, and the cost. So the name is text after the period and the space. The value is only numbers of this, and the cost is only numbers of this. So little regex lambdas. Finally, this insect this lighter has a little has a delimiter in it, which messes me up. So I gotta. This is, I think, the fastest way to get rid of it. Right? It's just to get rid of it like that in the whole workbook. So no more delimiter in an answer there. And then now if we do the biggest of the numbers, right? So XLOOKUP, well, first let me text split, right? So text split this by that, put it in columns, right? And then look it up on the names returning the value. So the biggest of this returning on this. And then the next one is the total cost, right? So if we use K instead of J, and then we do the sum of this. Let's go for 4. For level 5, we got to do the distance to the airport. So I'm going to make a copy of it. The airport itself is 0, right? So now let's do let. I need the arrows, right? So I get the arrows like this. So these are the arrows, right? And I'll enter that. So now I'm back on the sheet. So now for the upper value is if count substring, right? So if the arrow substring includes the up arrow, arrow up, then it is this plus 1, right? And that handles up. So now I got to do the same thing for down, left, and right. Down, left, and right. Down, left, and right, right? And then and if it's false, then 999 is going to be my thing that closes the F, right? Yeah. 999. And then finally, the answer, right, is the minimum of up, down, left, and right. This is the thing. So I take this. Nope, that's not right. The up, down, left, and right. There we go. Okay. So now I put this in here, and it says, oh my God, circular references. And I say in options, yes, I want iterative calculations. Allow circular references. So it should figure this out now. Those are the answers. I paste values so it doesn't have to keep calculating. So the address lookup of this is this address here. That's good for level 5. Then level 6, start with level 1, right, for level 6, right? So level 6, I'm going to look up Alfred's favorite, his characteristic. Now I look up that on what activity is he going to want to get the items, and then I'm going to count that to get the answer to level 6, right? So the columns of text split this by the semicolon is the delimiter this time. And now we start with the same thing. I'm going to do text split down here, right, to get the items. Text split of this with this being the row delimiter, right? I need my bear fighting rules, which I'll put out here. So there's an HP bonus, defensive bonus, motivation, power level, and then the HP itself was always 100 according to the instructions, right? HP bonus is XLOOKUP, this on here, returning here. Just thought I could put these all in one table. I don't know if that make it faster or not. This I could do just moving these over to the defensive bonus and the motivation. Oh, come on. Got to grab a very specific little area with my mouse. And then finally the power is just to look up, right? So I look up the bear's name on here, returning here. Now I got to sum these up with a safety for errors, right? So if error sum of this, if error 0 is what I want. If error, nope. Paste, paste, paste. And then I follow the thing, right, is equals starting HP times open parenthesis 1 plus HP bonus minus power level times 1 plus motivation minus defensive bonuses, close, close, and then round that to 0 places for level 7. All right, so now I need the biggest of by call this average, looking up on these, and then which camper's choice, which camp is the camper's choice, right? So I'm going to bring in the campers and the camps, which are here, right? So let's say that these get hard-coded, right? So there's the camp, there's the park, here's the answer. make this a what if table, right? Where the camper is changed here, the park is changed here. Then each person's favorite park is the biggest of check here, return here, locked. Everybody prefers Bear Island except for Kevin, who prefers a different one. So Bear Island and Kevin. The sum of the cost is here, and then the average is round the average of this to 0. Stop the clock. Make sure I've got 1250. Boom. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye. All right. Here we go for Harry Tournament. Live attempt case number 2. Video this
The
time.
second case in the tournament is the camping case, written by me. In this case, you'll help 21 friends determine where they're going to camp it, what they need to bring, how they're going to get there, and what activities they will do. The case has 7 levels, 5 bonus questions. You can do the levels in any order that you want, but I do recommend doing level 6 before level 7. Good luck.
All right, not a lot of specifics there. And going to be doing a camping case. All right, let us see how it goes. Boom. Oh, did not read the things correctly here. That's a little frustrating. I don't see anything that would cause that. Level 1, example 1. Bonus level points, game level points, answer. Yeah, I don't see why I'm having trouble parsing this. Let's see, is there anything left over here? No. All right, I don't know. It is what it is. Camper's preference, each person's preference is the biggest of there. Returning on this locked. Starting with the name and giving us the most important thing, right? Double check that. And then this stuff's got to go in level 1. All right, looks like we're back to our usual format of 7 levels and 5 bonuses. Camp score based on camper and park. Multiplying the camper's preferences by the park attributes. This is very familiar. It's like our Kiwi vacation, right? So if I look up the camps and do this stuff. And then, oh, this is some product, right? Yeah. Of this and the camper. This looks good. All right, always be prepared. Which item has the highest value using value scores? Camping items. Value score equals 10. Which of these is the most valuable? Okay, fine. This is just like wrap rows by 4, right? No, maybe by 5. Wrap columns by 4. No, this is not what I think it is. Value store cost 1, because there's a blank, so it's by 5. Yeah, okay, good. All right, so need trim text after space. And then here is only numbers. All right, so now so if I start with text split this by there, then let's look up, or well, no, let's call this A. So I'm gonna need it again. X lookup A on the items, right? Returning on the value and keeping that stuff blocked. So this is, I don't know, B, let's say. There's values. So now it's X lookup. No, it's the biggest of B returning on A. Oh. Determine the total cost, which is also from here. The costs are all integers. So I can just use only numbers, right? Yep. So now this is going to be very similar to my last one. Just going to move this down. So now instead of having the most valuable, B is going to be, so B is now the values, but instead I want K, which is the costs, and then I want just the sum of B, right? Yeah. is in A, which is interesting. Batteries lighter, matches snacks. Batteries lighter, matches snacks. I mean, there could be something wrong. I should debug this. All right, so first of all, what is A? And then now what is B? So NA is the lighter and the water. It's still, the camping items are locked. So I don't know why lighter. Oh, because there's a slash in it, so I'm double slashing it. Okay, fine. That's interesting that there's a slash in the slash. All right, so extra batteries, lighter, and stacks do manually. Lighter, extra batteries, and snacks. Snacks is 19. That would also mess up the other level, so I'm going to double check the other level now. I mean, is lighter even here? Yeah. All right. First of all, why don't we just fix this freaking problem, which I think I can do. All right. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to replace it with that in the entire workbook. But now that's not good enough. I need to do it like this also. There we go. That should fix the freaking problem. Yeah, now I got 19 in there. All right. Everyone must travel to the airport to fly to the campground, determine the shortest distance, travel to the airport. Each cell counts as 1 unit of distance. Let's stay on the road. They're only allowed to travel the directions listed on the cells. And I don't really have a good one for that, do I? Um, yeah, this is the thing all over again. The share the ride that I never solved. All right, skip 5. Everyone has arrived at camp based on their favorite activity. Each activity requires different items. The total number of items they will need for their activity. Item can have more than one thing associated with it. For example, map and compass counts as one item. Preferences for quiet. Quiet is meditation. Our camping chairs. Okay, I mean, it's not seem super hard, right? Items needed. That's just the number of items needed. Oh, that seems pretty easy. It's just counting the semicolons, right? I mean, the columns of text split this by this. All right, so now I gotta look up put the quiet on here, just turning the number of items. Odd, even is correct. Skip 5 for now. There's level 6. Pandemonium. Lyra's activities. They all ran into a bear. Let the battles begin. Campers will use our items level 6 to defend themselves. Each type of bear has its own strength, known as bear power. Unhide the bear fighting rules to find all the rules. Maybe that's why this thing freaking failed, because it has high hidden bear rules. My thing couldn't handle that. Let's see what happens if I unhide the bear rules and create a second thing. I mean, it didn't even carry over the bear rules, so obviously my code has problems. There's bear fighting rules. So if I save that, now I'm going to make this competition model 2. Yes, of course that works, right? All right, so now level 7. How many hit points? 5 items, bear fighting rules. Remaining HP equals starting HP times the HP bonuses, defensive bonuses, types of bears, bear motivation. All right, so they have the items in level 6, right? Yeah, okay. So, first of all, I got to look up the camper's items. So I look up the camper's preferences. I need my old one here. Just add this. So I look up the camper on their names, returning their preferences, and then I look up their preference on the items, right? Which is wrap rows 5. No, this is not it. It's these activities, right? Yeah, these are the items. So I look up this on the preference, returning on the items. And then I text block this. This is items, preference, items. This by the column delimiter, make it row delimiter. So now I'm going to move this into here. So the items, let's look up this on here, here locked, returning here locked, otherwise nothing. This is bear power. So let's look up the bear name on the power amount. Defensive bonuses is on here, returning this, otherwise nothing. Bear motivation is the same thing, but based on this stuff. Nope. So the answer is the starting HP, which is always 100, times 1 plus. So, I mean, I'm going to do what? The sum. All right, so if the count of this equals 0, then it's just 1. Otherwise, it is 1 plus the sum of this, right? So what? It's the equals times the HP bonuses minus the bear power equals 100 times HP bonuses minus the bear power times the bear motivation minus the defensive bonuses. That's it. Do bonuses. Oh, I wish I had solved this map before. So the 9 attributes has the highest average. Equals the biggest of this, returning this. 9 attributes, right? Yeah, everybody loves a good picnic. Which camp choice is a favorite for most of the campers given their camping preferences? Frequency table of that. Oh, it's a tie. That's bad. This whole thing wrong. Which of the camp choice is a favorite for most of the campers? Oh no, which camp choice? Okay, well, there we go. So it is based on this, right? So the park and the campers, right? Here is the park. Here are the campers. By camp choices is here, returning on here. And this is the name on here, returning on here. And this is some product of this and this. Right. And this is, what if it was wildlife and Harriet? It's the other way around. Harriet and wildlife? No, Harriet and the camp names. Oh my gosh. Camp choices. So the park is there, the camper is there, the answer is there. Now I'm ready for my what if table where the columns are the campers and the rows are the parks. And I need everybody's favorite park. So the biggest of this returning on here. Well, obviously, Bear Island. All right, which camper had a different camp choice than all the others? Kevin. Kevin's the only weirdo that doesn't like Bear Island. If you purchased each item in the camping tab, what would the total cost be? One of each item in the camping items tab. Only numbers. 2267. Bear Island. Kevin. 2267. And here's my kryptonite, which is level 5. Do not have enough time to solve level 5. I should be. I should know this because, of course, I mean, share the ride is a classic case. So if you can't solve share the ride, then something's going wrong. Also, my Excel has gone seriously wrong, but whatever. Okay. I want to make some guesses for this. There is what? The distance. So the distance from here to AX10 is this. And then I'm going to do the ratio of that and the real answer and then round it. All right, so equals this times 14 over 11. Right, gives me 14, and then I round to the 0. Okay, and this has got to be odd and odd. I'm going to stick these in here. Seems unlikely I'll get the average, but why not? 39. And then the shortest one is AU10. So from AU10 is 1, 2, 3 arrows. How does that compare to this? And the distance, each unit travel counts as one distance, right? So if you started in A10, AU10, so that's 1, 2, 3. What's the next shortest one? None of them are pretty short. All right, give myself an extra second here. Submit